Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. I'm going to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly Walking Dead video predictions video for this week's upcoming episode of The Walking Dead. Season 4, Episode 7 now, Dead Weight. Okay, so continuing on with the Walking Dead Season 4 Governor's mini story arc, now that we're getting total concentration on him. As always, this video will contain spoilers for anyone who has not seen the Walking Dead Season 4 all the way up to current time. So, in this one, we're going to continue with that 100% Governor focus, it looks like, in the promo as well as the sneak peek. Again, only a promo and a sneak peek for this week's episode, whereas we used to get 2 sneak peeks. Right now, it seems that there's only being 1 posted per week, which is okay. 1 is good enough, and then the promo as well. So for this week's episode, again, continue with the Governor story arc. No scenes with Rick from those 2, the sneak peek of the promo, from what it looks like. Just like last week's episode, Episode 6, it looks like Episode 7 is going to have 100% complete focus on the Governor and not stray to the characters at the camp whatsoever, unless possibly the end of the episode could be. I'm interested to see how they're going to tie it in with the scene with the Governor standing outside of the prison gates. You know, for the Episode 5, at the end of Episode 5, we saw him standing there sort of with the building music in the background, the dark tones, as he's just kind of looking at the prison and kind of turns, right? So I'm interested to see how they're going to blend that in and when it's going to fade into that time. So when the chronological order of these episodes that we're seeing with just the Governor is going to actually fade into that scene. Now, when that's going to happen, just to do some predictions, I think it's going to be in the mid-season finale. I'll be interested to see. Now, I don't think that they'll include that part in this episode. I think that will be in the mid-season finale when we see him sort of walk up to the prison fence or close to it within eyeshot, and then we'll see the big attack on the prison in the mid-season finale, Episode 8. Damn, man, going fast. Only 2 episodes left for until there's the mid-season break, and then of course we'll resume the season probably in February. That's usually what they do each year. So that's unfortunate that we're almost at the halfway point, but it's been a pretty crazy 6 episodes so far, and the next 2 look like they're going to be really exciting to see the Governor and whoever's a part of his forces clash with Rick's group again at the prison. It is strange though, because from where we're at right now, at the end of Episode 6 or beginning of Episode 7, the Governor by himself, I mean, he's got the girls with him, the 3, but he doesn't have any manpower. So it'll be interesting to see in this episode. I'm assuming he's going to somehow take over Martinez's group from him. In the promo, there's part of the sequence where you have Martinez and he's walking with his little Uzi type mini whatever kind of gun that is that he usually uses, and then you have the Governor who's got his gun, and he's kind of there, and he's kind of like looking at Martinez, as if almost getting ready to friendly fire him, or, just kind of kill him and take the reins of the group from him. Could it be possible that he won't? I don't know. I mean, he would kind of have to, I would think, because, as a character, the Governor doesn't really play second rank to anybody. So even though in the promo, Martinez does say that it's his group and he's the leader now, or whatever the case may be, I gotta think that won't last very long before the Governor stabs him in the back type of thing. And I'm thinking we'll probably see something like that in this upcoming episode, or the next one, Episode 8, the mid-season finale. So interesting developments. The promo video, I'll put the link in the description for you guys, can check that out. There's that, so hinting at possibly the Governor taking over the group already from the promo. Martinez saying he's the leader. Then you've got the dude who's got his head cut off and is tied to the tree, and it says liar on him. So it sounds like the people from this group, they're the survivalist or whoever they're trying to steal from, or they're going to be stealing from. looks like he's a pretty badass dude, so they may be, biting off more than they can chew. I guess we'll have to see what happens with that. It's interesting to see that Martinez has followed the same route as what they used to do, which is to basically take supplies from other groups. So, because he always kind of seemed to me like the type of guy that was just doing what he was told. And I didn't really think that he would be one to sort of take that strategy and make it his own. I kind of thought he was more like a lackey that would do what he was told because the governor told him to do it, rather than him doing it on his own. But I guess if it's 6 months later and he wasn't able to find very much food or supplies of his own, that would be something that he would turn to really quickly as soon as he started getting hungry. So that does make perfect sense, and I'm interested to see how that all works out. I think that's the most interesting thing about this upcoming episode, is to see what happens between those two, the governor and Martinez, and how the governor takes the reins of that group, how that works out. I think that's going to be very interesting to see how they wrote that in and how he ends up taking over the group to attack the prison again, because I mean he kind of has to, or maybe I'm totally wrong and he's not going to attack the prison at all in the mid-season finale. Another possibility. It just really looks like that's what it's forming up to be. I'd be surprised if it wasn't, but I mean it's very I could be completely wrong, so maybe that's not where they're going at all. Let's see. In the promo, we also have Megan's got blood all over her, it looks like. Somehow blood splattered everywhere on her. And you've got Martinez who says, no dead weight. So it seems like that's where the title of the episode comes from, dead weight. The description for the episode I'll also put in my description for this video. But it says, Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 7, Dead Weight. Something new unfolds at a camp outside the prison. The addition of new members may threaten peace. So it's funny because that's been released for a while, but there's no way we could really tell, what that meant. But something new unfolds at a camp outside the prison. Really, none of this has anything to do with the prison, so that's pretty neat the way they kind of worked that in, and we had no idea that it was referring to the governor from his focus point. And then the addition of new members may threaten peace. I would think that that's actually kind of referring to Martinez's group and the addition of these new members to their group, because they're kind of assimilating the governor and the women that are with him, sort of threatening the peace of that group. Of course, you can see it the other way around, is that the governor's group, even though there's only 4 of them, are combining with Martinez's group. So we'll have to see what happens with that. And so that's pretty interesting description. So I'm thinking that's going to be the focus of the episode, is the 2 of them kind of going back and forth, and then have a Shane Rick type situation. Who's going to be the leader, who's going to kill which first. It seems to me that Martinez is softer, I think, than the governor, even though it doesn't seem like it from when he speaks, right? Knowing who the governor is, if he's got his own group now and he wants to protect the group, he really shouldn't let him in at all, because he knows what he's capable of, even though it's been a while. If he's soft and he lets him join the group now, when he has the upper hand, he has more manpower, more ammunition. The governor just has some women with him. He's not really in a position to for a face-off like that against Martinez. Could just slaughter him. It's kind of interesting that Martinez is probably going to be too soft to do it, and then the governor won't be afterwards. Because obviously the governor is a team killer. We know that. He's killed people in his group before like crazy. Andrea, Milton, all the people on the road there that he blasted down. So that for me is going to be the highlight of this episode, I think. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how that all works out. And I'm thinking we're probably going to see the death of Martinez this episode, or something like that happen with him. So I guess we'll see. Interesting to see there's no Shumpert around from any of the previews, or the sneak peek or the promo. It doesn't look like he's there. So it'll be interesting to see if if Martinez lets the governor know what happened to him, if he died at some point, if he got shot and was killed, if he is still there and we just don't see him, or if maybe they parted ways, because maybe Shumpert doesn't like what Martinez is doing with stealing from other groups, pirates, so to speak. So it'll be interesting to hear what happens with that, because that's something a lot of people are wondering too, what happened to Martinez and Shumpert. We know the Martinez part, we don't know the Shumpert part, so it'll be interesting to hear what happens with that too in this episode coming up. So that's good stuff. The sneak peek, okay. So this is one we should talk about. We can see that they found some kind of group of survivors that have a lot of supplies, seemingly. They're kind of hunting them down, so to speak. sort of like the hunters themselves, really. Although I don't think they're eating them, right? They're not cannibals, but they steal their supplies and all that kind of stuff. So from the looks of it, I think I counted at least 3 guys plus Martinez, probably more. There's the one guy who's given the governor grief in the sneak peek, which is really weird to see that guy who doesn't know who the governor is and he keeps calling him One Eye in a disrespectful type tone. It's really interesting to see him do that compared to where the governor was at before, where nobody in Woodbury would dare, call him something like that because he was the leader. Now how things have shifted, now that he's lost all of that, how this guy is sort of talking to him in a disrespectful tone all the time, calling him One Eye and this kind of stuff. Better be careful because, it looks like to me, if he's going to be doing that, the governor's not the type of guy to be forgiving, so he's probably going to kill him afterwards too, depending on what happens. Also, we do see in the promo the governor's got his gun and he is aiming it at somebody or something. So we'll have to see, with that what happens. To do predictions, I think we're probably going to see something along the lines of maybe near the end of the episode, them attack a group of survivors, and the governor may shoot Martinez in the head, shoot him down from behind or something like that. And the members of that group won't know that he was the one who did it. They may think that it was one of the survivors that shot Martinez. One of the other camps, people from the other camp shot Martinez, but it'll actually be the governor shooting him in the back of the head or something like that. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen, something along those lines. Because granted, too, Martinez did leave him, too. He didn't stick by his side, even though it was warranted. The governor's not forgiving, right? So he's not going to be because he's at the prison. So obviously he's not forgiving. So he's not going to forgive Martinez or Shumpert probably either for leaving him there by himself and ditching him, sort of Carol style with Rick there, so to speak. So that's all good stuff. Very excited to see all of that. The guy at the tree, the liar thing in the sneak peek too. And it's just really different, really interesting to see where the governor's at this time, him not being in charge anymore, and to see the dynamics of how this is going to work. Sort of a Shane-Rick type situation, except the governor would be Rick and Shane would be Martinez. So, good stuff. I'm very interested to see what happens in this week's episode and how it leads into the mid-season finale. So really great stuff. I'm loving all of this concentration on the governor because I was really wondering all season when they were going to bring him in, what they were going to do with him, and I'm not disappointed at all. They've given him characters to care for, the women, right? A reason to live again after all of that depression and state that he was in at first. And then now they're giving him the opportunity to stab Martinez in the back and get back at him for ditching him and possibly take over his group, since that's his style to begin with. I mean, am I the only one who thinks that the governor was really the one that pioneered this whole tactic of stealing from other survivors, stealing from other groups? And Martinez is just doing what the governor originally had taught him to begin with. So sort of like teacher versus student type situation, and the tables have turned. Very, very interesting stuff. Very excited to see Deadweight, and let me know what you guys think about it, and how stoked you are for the mid-season finale. Man, these mid-season finales have been just about as exciting, almost as exciting as the actual season finales for The Walking Dead. Just like last year, really, really good stuff. So I'm really looking forward to episodes 7 and 8, definitely. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let's do some predictions. Let's talk about it. If you got any info, let me know. And that's all I got to say about this one. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.